Cody Ponce, starting pitcher, former major leaguer, spent some time in the KBO. Be taking a chance in the KBO. We're back, baby.
Yeah, we're back on YouTube. For those of you who are wondering, we are officially up on YouTube.
On YouTube, we are back on Twitter. Nate is in there hitting the dab. We love it. We love it. Our internet's back.
If this goes down again,
we're not doing a new one.
No,
we're not doing.
This is your last shot.
This is our
last.
YouTube. It's our last chance for sure, 100%. But anyway, let's talk about Ponce. Okay, Cody Ponce. His estimated contract, according to this article, 2 years, $15 million, around there, give or take. Teams often seek the next Merrill Kelly among KBO returnees. Ponce's profile is encouraging, according to Eno Saris. His velocity increased from 93 miles an hour to 95 miles an hour since leaving Major League Baseball. He added an effective splitter and improved breaking ball quality, showed better strikeout performance in Korea than past successful returnees like Kelly and Eric Fetty. With an improved velocity and revamped arsenal, Ponce looks like a high upside, low cost target for a lot of teams. These are the type of players, to me, you're going to have to take a chance on. Oh, no. Go Aztecs did get to hear it on the radio. Him getting the foul on the IT for the comments on the IT department. It's good to be back. Hey, welcome, everybody. Everybody gather around. Throw up the dabs. There you go, Juan. Love it. A lot of people did say this, though.
Yes.
Cody Ponce.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he's only going to cost you, if he is going to $10, that is a player you got to try the Padres. You're out. You're out. That's
this is too long.
It'll be okay. Cody Ponce is one of those guys, Frank, that you have to go with.
Yes. Yeah. If nothing else, for a number 4 starter, that way, let's say you're in the best case scenario. You get this, you get Ponce, then your starting rotation is Nick Pivetta, Joe Musgrove, Imai, Vasquez, and Ponce. Not the greatest. You have 2 unproven quantities in there. 3 really with Musgrove, because you don't know what he's going to do coming off of Tommy John surgery. But I'd be okay rolling into the opening series with that as my starting rotation. I would be okay with that.
I would too. Now here's the deal.
It wouldn't thrill me, but I could live with that.
You don't have a power hitter, though, if that's the case.
Correct.
Because now your $30 million's gone in 2 players.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be worth it. You know what? We haven't even talked about like the trade potential.
Mm-hmm.
If they're able to trade away somebody that might be valuable, to me, it goes back to the Jake Cronenworth conversation. Jake Cronenworth, to me, is movable. Jake Cronenworth, to me, is a guy that can be traded. I think his contract is not terrible. It's not terrible anymore.
Mm-mm.
For what the going rate is for a player like Jake Cronenworth at his age, like $12 million, that's what you're going to get for a lot of these guys. Like, we look at the numbers for Ryan O'Hearn, like Ryan O'Hearn say, anywhere between $8 to $12 million on a lot of projections a year as a player.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you trade a Jake Cronenworth? I think it's possible, but then who plays second base? You'd have to bring somebody else in. It's tough to try to navigate this stuff. But the most expensive position to add to your team in Major League Baseball is starting pitching.
It's not being negative, Clay. It's pointing out the reality of the situation.
What did you say that was negative? Don't say I don't know. What did you
I genuinely don't know. It was it.
I think it
Saying
might be like
Musgrove because of
I
what
think your
coming off of Tommy
negativity
John
was
surgery.
I think your negativity was about like this stream lasting on YouTube.
Well, again, I'm just being real, guys. I'm sorry.
Frank, can I interest you in Jake Cronenworth for Kodai Senga?
No.
We'll take Jeff McNeil off your hands too.
If you want to do McNeil for Cronenworth straight up, I can live with that.
I'll totally take that because then you only have to pay McNeil for one more year. And then you have to worry about Jake Cronenworth anymore if you're the San Diego Padres in terms of his contract, in terms
I'm
of money.
with that for right now.
I think to me, the Padres are going to have to find ways to free up some cash if that's the case.
You're going to let a squirrel run loose in your locker room if that's the case.
What?
That's Jeff McNeil's nickname is the squirrel.
Oh, the squirrel. I look at, I think you can get bang for your buck out of Ponce, but you're taking a risk. I mean, you could go with the approach of Ponce as a sign and then moving Morahone or Miller to the rotation, and you sign Helsley, and that costs you about $16 million.
And then
that gives you money. That gives you about $14 million to work with get a power bat.
And you have depth. You still have Waldron. You just re-signed Kyle Hart, who, by the way, again, want to point out that is a major league deal that Kyle Hart signed. That is not a minor league deal with an invite to spring training. That is a major league
Which
contract.
is what he signed last time, too.
Yes.
He signed that last time.
So he will be on the opening day roster. Whether or not he'll be in the rotation or is your long guy in the bullpen is yet to be determined. But he will be on your opening day roster.
So that's another avenue. Now, is that the greatest? I don't think it's going to make a lot of fans thrilled. Oh, we got Ponce and Morahone in the rotation, and Helsley's now in the bullpen, and we got Ryan O'Hearn, and now we have like $8 million left.
How about here at Hell's Bells again at Petco Park? There's
no way they'd let him do that.
I mean, he got the grace from Trevor Hoffman to use it, period.
I know. I feel like it'd be weird if
it would be.
It would be weird. I don't think you could do it for the Padres. Trevor's a nice guy. He's a good dude. Like he's not going to care. I feel like it would be tough for Padres fans to hear Hell's Bells and Ryan Helsley's running out and not Trevor Hoffman.
When was the last time you heard Hell's Bells in the 7th inning?
Yeah, exactly. It'd also be weird. I mean, because you could do that and move one of those guys. I mean, if you want to, you can still sign Helsley and move like David Morgan to the starting rotation, but then your starting rotation's like Nick Pivetta, Joe Musgrove, Randy Vasquez, David Morgan, and Colin Ponce.
It's not going to be a thrilling rotation.
No, it's not.
Even the rotation with Nick Martinez and Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha, that wasn't a thrilling rotation either.
It's better than what we're talking about right now.
But we saw how that worked. No, it wasn't. No. You can't do that. You can't move the goalpost because you know the result.
I like Nick Martinez and Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha.
That was not. But the point is, what you got them for, that was not an exciting rotation at all. But you saw what happened. It worked. You saw the result out of it.
I think you got them for more. It's that they had incentives.
No, because they were both gone at the end of the year.
I know, but they were 1 year. They had opt-outs. I mean, Nick Martinez was making $10 million. Seth Lugo was making $7.5 million. Michael Wacha $7.5 million, and they were just loaded up with all of these opt-outs.
Prolific. They're not trading Jake Cronenworth right now, and why would you trade Luis Camposano when you don't have another backup catcher, and Ethan Salas has proven that he cannot stay healthy for a full year yet?
They're going to keep Ethan Salas. They're going to keep Luis Camposano.
Campy's not going anywhere.
I don't think
Salas is ready.
He doesn't have a big trade value either. I could see them trading Jake Cronenworth though.
Yeah,
to save money.
I do see that. I don't think it's happening right now. I don't think it's going to happen this offseason. I think that would be a deadline move, if anything.
No, I think it would happen in the offseason more than a deadline. I think you'd have to try to move him in the offseason to try to sign somebody else.
Yeah.
The deadline's different. It's just just depends on, because now you're rolling the dice that he has a good start to the season. If he doesn't have a good start to the season, then you're not going to be able to trade him at all. But right now, he had a decent year last year. He's relatively affordable for a lot of teams. He's only going to be 31. or basically 32 next season. Like, for what he is, for what Jake Cronenworth is, his contract is not terrible. But it's a way for the Padres to offload some money that's owed to him. You can use that $12.2 million, whatever it is, and go get somebody else. Go help with your rotation. Go help with the bullpen. Find different avenues to acquire talent. I think they could do that. We also talked about there's a lot of trade options for the Padres, I think. Mm-hmm. They have an ability. With the Twins being open for business, I think it's interesting with Joe Ryan. I think it's interesting with Pablo Lopez. Now, our Pablo Lopez is very expensive.
You could also kick the tires with Sandy Alcantara and Edward Cabrera too. And that's a thing. That's going to cost you more prospect capital,
which the Padres obviously don't really care about anyway.
But I mean, those guys are also available, very available from what we've heard.
I don't see those guys getting traded.
I don't either.
Sandy might to like a contender that's.
Well, I mean, Sandy was out the door, bags packed, and they didn't trade him.
So I don't mind the Ponce thing. I just this is what makes it hard. I mean, a lot of fans want, like, we've had people call in. What about Cody Bellinger? Cody Bellinger's gonna take up your entire budget.
No, it's not affordable.
The thing is those stars that the Padres have signed in the past, those are the stars that when you sign those guys to those big deals, those are your guys. You're not adding more of those. You added them already a long time ago, and you don't get new ones of those all the time. You're not one of those teams that can do that. You're not one of the teams that can risk being able to just pay that money for them to just not be very good. But if you look at all the other teams out there in baseball, there's not a lot of teams signing star after star after star on massive deals. They let other guys go, or they have guys coming off the books before they sign them. You have signed your stars. And the two biggest, there's three mistakes that the Padres have made, I think, when it comes to some of their big contracts. Everybody knows about the Xander Bogaerts one. I mean, it's tough. That's a tough one to deal with.
Yeah.
The other one that's been tough is giving Jake Cronenworth a contract extension when you had him under control for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
When did they give out that extension? 2022?
I think that was the start of 23.
Right, because he had...
And then it kicked in last year.
So here's the deal.
Or 24 kicked in.
When Jake Cronenworth... it was 2022. It was after the 2022 season. So Jake Cronenworth got that big hit against Vesia.
Yep.
At the time, he was making $750. He was making league minimum, and he had 3 years of arbitration. And he was going to be arbitration eligible in 2023, 2024, 2025. He was going to be a free agent
this offseason.
And the Padres gave him the whatever deal it is, and they decided to pay him like $12 million a year. That was the biggest, that offseason was a tough offseason because the Padres had made it to the NLCS. And at that point, they had Juan Soto on the team and Manny Machado and Fernando. They didn't get to use Fernando that year, and they were so close they had to go after it again. And they decided that the signing of Jake Cronenworth was the biggest mistake. And it's unfortunate. I mean, that was the deal. He's on the team. He's great he's on the team, but having to pay him was not great.
Mm-hmm.
Xander Bogaerts, I love having Xander Bogaerts on the team. I think it's a big facet to this team. I think it's great for the team. But that was another one that was this is a big contract. This is the moves that are adding up. And then the other one is and this is the tough dance. Manny played this perfectly, but it's tough because Manny had that opt-out. And it was giving him an additional contract. But the Padres they were in a position, their hands are tied. Could you imagine what would have happened if Manny Machado walked? I mean, he took a massive risk, and the Padres had to give him the contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had to. You couldn't let him leave. But right now, if he they didn't even let him opt out. He just kind of hinted at potentially opting out, and they signed him in the offseason. Those are the 3 ones that have put you in a spot where now you have to potentially trade away
They
Jake
signed
Cronenworth.
They signed him next spring training. It was a couple days after this contract here that's on the show every single day was signed, as a matter of fact.
But all of these moves are hindsight, like, all right, this is where you get into a problem. Now, whether or not you think the Padres had to make those moves is a different story. But they went out there and they spent the money. They did what they want. They did what they needed to do. And it was spend money and write the checks and try to get talent on the team. Maybe they gave out a little bit too much money.
Mm-hmm.
But having to pay Jake Cronenworth $12 million a year for the last 4 years when he could have been doing arbitration, and now you got to pay him all the way through, these are the moves that come back to haunt you later. And again, in the moment, you want these guys on your team. They have to be able to bring back some of the talent. So even though they were kind of iffy spots, they're in a tough bind for a lot of these deals. The Xander Bogaerts one, we've talked about it. It didn't make a lot of sense at the time. I'm glad he's on the team, but that's a lot of money you're spending on a guy. Manny Machado, again, that's another situation where it's tough to have that guy potentially opt out and walk. He ends up signing before, and then he doesn't have that great of a season. He doesn't have a good enough season where he would opt out, but I guess at this point, who knows? Everybody's opting out of contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Did you afford to let Manny Machado walk? No, probably not. I think a lot of Padres fans now, hindsight, would be like, that would have been great. Now you don't have to pay him, whatever. But these are all the moves now where you have to start thinking about, how do we get Jake Cronenworth off the roster for money reasons? Not because you don't want him on the team. He's the only one that makes sense in terms of potentially making a move to free up money to fix all the other problems of maybe only have the budget of $30 million. We got to take a quick break. But this is kind of the situation that the Padres are in. I like them spending money. I think it brings good players here, and they've done their part. But these guys got to start performing. And that's honestly the biggest thing that needs to happen in this offseason. Braden Surprenant Show continues. Is that why you had the windows open? Because we weren't on camera, and so you got to enjoy the sunshine?
Yep.
That's peeking through the clouds over here in Serra Mesa, by the way. That's why you did it. Interesting. This hour on 97 The Fan is brought to you by IHOP. Introduce the IHOP value menu, where your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP value menu. Available every day at IHOP, $7 in some locations. Since we have had some interesting difficulties throughout the afternoon and morning, mostly the morning, it seems like we're back up and running. It's time for us to get to today's sports thread.
Stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
No filters, no silence, just real talk. Brought to you by QC Kinetics. Stop sitting on the sidelines. QC Kinetics gets you back in the game without surgery. To learn how, visit QCkinetics.com.
I do want to mention, since we're back on the YouTube, we got Sam. Our buddy Sam, it's his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday,
He's celebrating his
Sam.
birthday down in Cabo.
Atta boy, look at you.
So big happy birthday to our friend Sam Flaming, who is celebrating his birthday, 29th birthday, old man,
Atta boy.
down in Cabo. He's watching us right now live in Cabo.
Happy birthday.
How about that? He couldn't do it before with the other stuff, right? I mean, he can't listen, he doesn't get the signal down there in Cabo. Odyssey app internationally, kind of iffy. Needed the YouTube. We got it back on just for Sam and his birthday. Big happy birthday to Sam.
Atta boy. All right, let's start off here with
Number 1.
CeeDee Lamb said he and George Pickens missed the Cowboys team curfew on Sunday night after having dinner and drinks at Red Rock Casino, leading to both wide receivers being benched for the first series of Monday night's game against the Raiders. Coach Brian Schottenheimer confirmed that they were disciplined but did not share details. Despite the brief benching, both players produced big games in the Cowboys' win. Pickens, a pending free agent, said sitting out the start, quote, wasn't nice, while Schottenheimer emphasized he wants Pickens to stay with the team long term. Does benching players for a single series effectively reinforce team rules, or is it too light a punishment to discourage it from happening again?
Where they only got suspended for a series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I heard they had a night.
Yeah.
I heard they had a night. I was told
Boys had some fun in Vegas.
from some sources that that hotel casino that everybody stays at, they have a bowling alley there.
It's Red Rock Casino. It said it in the article.
Okay. Red Rock Casino. I think that's where they all stay. They have a bowling alley there. And CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, where they rented out the bowling alley. And it was them and a lot of women, and they had a great time at the bowling alley. And then apparently they found George Pickens passed out at the bowling alley in a bunch of bowling shoes.
Oops.
At I don't even know what time in the morning. I've seen the picture. It's pretty funny. But I was kind of waiting for the news to get out before I could talk about it. I can see why they got suspended for a little bit. Now, it's an interesting thing, right? Because it's still the National Football League. You're trying to win games, right? You're trying to.
Yes.
You can't have them out for the entire time. God forbid they lose to the Raiders, right? They probably should have been suspended for the first half or something like that to send a message. Are they going to do this again? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it was enough to have them not do it. And this can't be the first time this has ever happened.
No. God, no.
The first time they might have got caught, but that's not the first time it's ever happened. I would imagine most of the guys that go to Vegas on these trips to play the Raiders are usually in a little bit of a box. I mean, I told that story before about the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told that story before. I mean, these guys are going out. They're when you travel on the road with these professional and college teams, your favorite players are going out the night before and stuff like that. They're having fun. They're still people.
Got the Grand Prix in Vegas this weekend, too.
Yeah. Hey, how about that?
Number 2.
Baylor athletic director Mack Rhoades has resigned effective immediately, 1 week after taking a personal leave of absence. Rhoades said he is stepping away to prioritize faith and family. His departure comes as the school was investigating unspecified allegations against him, though Baylor previously said he did not involve they did not involve Title IX athlete welfare, NCAA violations, or the football program. Rhoades also stepped down as the chair of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. How should universities balance transparency with privacy when an athletic director or high-profile leader departs amidst an ongoing yet undisclosed investigation into them?
So what? Wait, hon. What's the problem?
So he has an investigation.
Yeah, Mack Rhoades is having
against him.
Right at Baylor.
He stepped down. He took a personal leave of absence.
Correct.
He stepped away from the playoff selection committee, and now he's resigning from his position as the athletic director
at Baylor.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you think schools should handle this when there's an investigation into the guy, and now he's stepping down because of faith and family at a very coincidental timing?
It's a private school; they can do what they want. I don't know. I mean, do you need all the details out there?
I wouldn't want them.
I don't need the details. He's stepping away. It's obviously bad. It's probably a mutual party. Like, look, man, we can't have you back after this. You either step down and we help you out in a sense of that nobody's going to know about this, or you can fight it and we can just start releasing stuff.
Yeah.
These deals happen all the time.
Sounds like an ultimatum to me.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Voluntarily step down.
The Los Angeles Lakers have fired Joey and Jesse Buss along with most of their scouting departments as part of a major restructuring of basketball operations. Joey, VP of Research and Development and alternate governor, and Jesse, assistant GM and longtime scouting lead, had played key roles in identifying impactful players over the past decade. The brothers expressed disappointment and noted that their father, Jerry Buss, once envisioned them running basketball operations. Their sister, Jeannie Buss, remains the team's controlling governor and previously had public conflicts with other siblings over team leadership. Do you think the Lakers' decision to remove the Buss brothers signals a long-term shift away from the family influence in team operations, or is it simply just tied to new ownership priorities?
Do you know who they hired after that?
No. It just says that those two.
Did you get that report from Ramona Shelburne this morning, 2 hours ago?
No.
The Lakers have brought in Farhan Zaidi and Andrew Friedman to help consult the Lakers on how to do things the Dodgers way. Zaidi is serving as new owner Mark Walters' representative from TWG Sports in the transition process. Sources have told ESPN.
Cool. So
Shohei Ohtani will be in the starting lineup.
So the Dodgers are learning how to play within a salary cap now. Got it.
Yeah, I get. Yeah,
that's,
you know
that's
what?
where it's going.
Yeah,
they're learning how to wheel and deal within a salary cap system. Good news for everybody.
I would get rid of anybody like the Buss family, and I don't know too much about the Buss family aside from the fact that they own the Lakers, and Jeannie took over for her dad that owned the Lakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when, and I don't know what the Buss brothers have in terms of their resume.
They still do hold their controlling shares in the team. They were just relieved of their duties.
Right, the scouting. They voted against them too, of selling any type of team to whatever his name is, Mark Walters or whatever. My thing is, and I agree, and I see this. Organizations that employ family members that have never worked for any other organization usually have things go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Did the Buss brothers work for any other org to learn how other organizations do things, or did they just inherit said job? I don't know. I don't know how the resume is, because there are some owners that like have their kids go work for somebody else to learn what it's like to be an executive, and then they come back to the family team.
Yeah.
You know, the Spanos family didn't do that. They're a circus. The Jones family hasn't done that either. They're a circus. Like the Buss family, just because your dad owned the Lakers doesn't mean you know what you're doing when it comes to scouting, right? You don't want those guys doing scouting things. Let scouts do it. And if you're Mark Walters, it's like, why am I letting the Buss family run this? I own the team. Let me bring in somebody that actually knows what they're doing.
Yeah. No,
It's a smart move by Walters.
I agree with that 100%.
Number 4.
From the HBO series Showtime Lakers, apparently it was their first jobs. Yeah, get them out.
We only have time for this last one, and this is one I'm sure you're going to enjoy. The University of Michigan's Board of Regents says it opposes the Big Ten's proposed deal to sell a 10% stake in conference revenues in exchange for $2.4 billion from UC Investments. Michigan argues the plan is unfair and was pushed too aggressively, while the Big Ten insists the process has been collaborative. USC has also raised concerns, and federal officials are questioning how such outside investment might affect the tax-exempt status of college athletics. Should college conferences be allowed to sell equity stakes to private investors, or does it risk turning college athletics into commercial enterprise that undermines their quote-unquote educational mission?
No. Do not be selling to private equity. Now, the Big 12 teased that. And to me, like, Brett Yormark teased it and then scared everybody else. Now the Big Ten's like trying to get into private equity to like get everybody an extra $150 million. I don't know. The end game that is not great, because when you start selling to private equity, they start changing things and start cutting things and start, because it's a business and they're trying to make as much money as possible. Never really works out. I don't know why the Big Ten would do that. Michigan and USC is like, I don't know about this. I don't think this is a great idea.
But can we please stop pretending that we're undermining the educational mission? Can we please stop? We stop pretending that that's the case. That's why we don't want to do this.
Here's my thing with college athletics.
We've undermined the educational mission a long time ago.
I firmly believe, and I know we got to take a break. Here's what I know. I firmly believe that a college education is important.
Yes.
I firmly believe that how much tuition costs now is not the tuition right now has exceeded the value of a college education.
100%.
Like a college education is not worth the $90,000 a year or whatever it is at a lot of these schools. But I think the value of a college education is important. I also believe you don't have to go to college to be successful. There's a lot of people that are like that. But I do think it's valuable. And I also believe now in this day and age of college athletics, there should be an option. If you want to take in the scholarship and be able to go to school for free and leave with no debt, you should be allowed to do so. But now at the same time, if the players that go through do not think it's valuable and do not want that, and in exchange want to take more money, I think they should have that choice. The education is important.
Yes.
But they should have the choice now. So again, like the whole education. Again, I believe it's important. I think a lot of players and families are really undervaluing what it means to be college educated.
Right. And what my point in saying that was, these schools have not cared about that for a long time.
Most of these schools don't.
The student athlete moniker has been dropped so quickly after they lost the NIL thing. They don't value it. That was my point in it. Yes, a university education is valuable. What is the tuition and the debt that you're going to be saddled with is what's,
especially when every school's got all these endowments. And again, it's not. That's a conversation for a political show, not for news talk, not really us. But at the same time, with the education thing, if I was a university and the kids don't care about going to school and I'm paying them hundreds of thousands of dollars to play a sport, why do I care if they go to school or not?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it should be up to the kid and the family if he wants to go to school. And if he doesn't want to go to school, there shouldn't be. What's the eligibility requirements for? If he doesn't want to go, he shouldn't have to go. He's getting paid to be there. I think that should be the two things. Here, you can either get a scholarship and go to school for free, or you can get a bunch of money. Your choice. I think you should give these guys a choice. However much we'd be paying you in scholarship, you can have in cash. But if you want to go to school, you're going to have to pay for it yourself. I don't see what the problem with that is. You got a choice. Do you want to get the free education, or do you want money? That seems kind of fair to me. Is that fair to you?
I could see how that could work.
And if you take the cash and you don't have to go to class. You don't have to be eligible. Just go ahead and play for the thing. You're getting paid. You're an employee now. But if you want the scholarship, you can take the scholarship, but you got to pay attention in class and go to school and all that other stuff. We got the phones back. So in about 15 minutes, we're going to announce today's biggest fan. But we're also going to get to a couple other things that we wanted to get to earlier. We'll talk about the NFC playoff race before we get to the whip around at 1 o'clock and announcing our biggest fan at 1 o'clock as we continue on the Braden Surprenant Show. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. This holiday season, too many San Diegans will go hungry. Join 97 through the Fan and support the San Diego Food Bank. Donate food directly online through our Odyssey San Diego Food Fund, where every donation helps feed local families. Go to 97tothefansd.com/food fund and give today. All right, we talked about it yesterday with the NFL playoff race, which is the AFC. We talked about the AFC. Taking a look now at the NFC today. We're going to get to the 1 o'clock hour. We're going to do the whip around, the NFL whip around at 1 o'clock. We're going to talk San Diego State football again, kind of recap some of the stuff that we missed earlier, or that maybe you missed earlier when we were dealing with a lot of technical difficulties. Drake Hills will join us at 1:35. We'll wrap up the show. We'll throw in some high school football too. We got a lot of high school football games tonight. Semifinals. This is the most fun. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the most fun. This is the most fun round in high school football because everybody's playing their tails off to make it to the championship game. That's like most semifinals. The finals themselves are always kind of a crapshoot, right? Everybody's just wanting to get there, and then the game itself and the championships, they're usually not as great a games as the semifinals. Semifinals are usually phenomenal football games. Last week, we got to see the Open Division semifinals. LCC and LaCoste, or LCC and Carlsbad, Mission Hills and Cathedral. Two great games last week as both teams are trying to battle their way to the championship. You're going to have that again in D1, D2, D3, D4, D5 coming up tonight. We'll have a preview of that in the 1 o'clock hour as well. Let's quickly talk about the NFC playoff picture. We talked about the AFC yesterday and some teams that we think we're going to be in it, teams that we don't think are going to be in it. Eagles are the number one seed as of right now. They're 8-2. They got the Cowboys this weekend. Did anybody see that news report from Philly? I showed it to Frank. A news station in Philadelphia went to a local elementary school where they had boxing bags. You know, those little, the big bags where you can box. And they had about 15 of them with Cowboys players' faces on them for the kids to beat up today for Cowboys-Eagles week. That is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I can't put punching bags. They had punching bags with Cowboys players' faces on them. Hilarious. I never see that the other way. Philly's always worried about the Cowboys even when they shouldn't be. Hilarious. So the Eagles got the Cowboys this weekend. Vic Fangio's defense doing a good job. Offense is still searching for its explosive identity. I think the Eagles are good. I don't think they're the number one team in the NFC. They're 8-2 right now. Do they hold off the Rams? Well, they currently have the tiebreaker over the Rams, and here's how the Eagles finish. At Dallas, they got Chicago. They're at the Chargers. They got Vegas, at Washington, at Buffalo, Washington again. I think it's going to be tough for LA to pass Philly because that schedule's pretty easy, Frank.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
As for the Rams, now the Rams have to do one better than Philadelphia. They got Tampa, tougher game at home. At Carolina, okay, but Carolina's playing better. At Arizona, Detroit's good. At Seattle, they're competing for a playoff spot. At Atlanta, and then they finish with Arizona. Stafford's playing his best football since the Super Bowl run. Soft schedule, kind of, but it's still more difficult than it is for the Eagles. I think the Rams probably finishes the 2 seed. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFC. I just think the Eagles' schedule plays out favorably, and they have the tiebreaker over Los Angeles after the loss the Rams took in Philly earlier this year. Bears are the 3 seed, currently the leader in the NFC North. Do we think they hold off Green Bay and Detroit? I don't know about that. Caleb Williams has been winning games, but he doesn't look very good. He's looked very inconsistent. And this is the path for the Bears. Frank, the Bears are 7-3, the Packers are 6-3-1, and Detroit's knocking on the door in 6-4. So Detroit's a game back, and the Packers are a half game back from Chicago. Here's Chicago's remaining schedule. Do they win the division? Pittsburgh, at Philly, at Green Bay, Cleveland, Green Bay, at San Francisco, Detroit. No. They're not winning the division. That is brutal. They have one easy game. It's Cleveland. I don't even think the Bears make the playoffs. Looking at that schedule.
I'm sorry. I'm preoccupied with other things happening over here.
Pittsburgh, at Philly, at Green Bay, Cleveland, Green Bay, at San Francisco, Detroit. I'll take the Bears to not make the playoffs for 300, Trebek.
The Bears. The Bears.
That's going to be crying in their beers, Bears fans. Tampa Bay Bucks are 6-4. Leader in the South. Really leader in the South by a decent amount. They only got a half game lead on the Panthers. I just don't see the Panthers being able to steal the South if Baker Mayfield slips up. Bucks got the Rams, Arizona, New Orleans, Atlanta, at Carolina, at Miami, Carolina again. Baker Mayfield's going to keep those guys afloat. Schedule sets up nice for them to win the NFC South. Wild card teams: Seattle, Green Bay, and San Francisco. Seattle 7-3, Green Bay 6-3-1, San Francisco 7-4. Brock Purdy's coming back for the Niners. That should be the jolt that they need. Niners got to finish with Carolina, at Cleveland, Tennessee, at Indianapolis, Chicago, and Seattle. That's a very favorable closing stretch. As for Green Bay, very inconsistent offense that they have had, but that division title is wide open. I think the Packers probably win the North. And for the Seahawks, they got to get the Rams at home to try to make it interesting in the NFC West. I just don't think they're going to do it. They get to go to Tennessee. They're going to win that game. Minnesota's at home. Not that difficult. At Atlanta. Then they got Indy and LA in a mix. At Carolina. At San Francisco. Mike McDonald's defense keeps them in every game. Several games versus backup and young quarterbacks down the stretch. When we come back, we'll get to the NFL whip around and announce today's biggest fan. Final hour of the Braden Surprenant Show. Sanger Zone Sports Station, 97.3 The Fan. 1 o'clock hour on a Friday, a rainy Friday. Although it stopped raining here in Sierra Mesa. Might be raining elsewhere in the county, though. It was going to clear up for most of the day today. Tomorrow, what do we got tomorrow on the weather?
I do not know.
Saturday, 80% chance of rain. Oh,
cool.
fun.
Love it.
That's what it says, but then I look at the timing, it goes 0 throughout the entire day. What does that mean?
It means an 80% chance that this area is going to, 80% of this area is going to see 0% chance of rain.
That's exactly what that says. Looking at the radar, there might be some rain circling out there, but I think we're done for most of it. We'll see. That's why I'm not a weather guy. You know who is, though? Matt Scraby. But we'll get his weather report in a second. First, we got to get to today's biggest fan.
Yes, that we do.
We didn't think we were going to be able to get there because we didn't have
not.
phones. We had a lot of stuff not working today. Let's get to today's biggest fan. Today's biggest fan. Drum roll or no?
You've been not doing it the last couple
I know,
days.
I set you up for it. Congratulations to today's biggest fan. Today's biggest fan is Nathaniel Kerber in San Diego. Nathaniel Kerber in San Diego. Kerber. You have 10 minutes to give us a call at 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973, and you will qualify for a grand prize, our grand prize, 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game with all of the fan staff later this season. Catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. Nathaniel Kerber. I know it's been a rough day today when it comes to what we had with the Odyssey app and what we had with the YouTube page and on the air and all that stuff. Today's a difficult day to be the biggest fan, but Nathaniel Kerber, you're today's biggest fan. If you know Nathaniel, tell him to give us a call at 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Nathaniel, I know you're out there. Give us a call, buddy, and you'll be qualified to win a chance for 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game. Come on. Nathaniel Kerber, give us a shout. We appreciate it. His name was Nathaniel Kerber. Kerber.
And as Nate in our chat said,
no relation to his.
Yeah, no relation. There's Nate's no
to him
relation.
being named Nate. Of course not. All right. Well, while we wait for Nathaniel. Jeez, Rod. As we wait on Nathaniel, we'll get to today's NFL whip around. It's great having the internet back.
Is it though?
I pulled up ESPN's front page. Polar Bear to Boston.
Yeah,
Return
I know.
to Queens.
I saw that.
It's Pete Alonso with Elmo behind him.
Oh,
it's the funniest picture ever. It's Mr. Met lurking behind his shoulder, and it's Elmo on the dugout at Citi Field.
Love it.
This is the funniest picture I've ever seen. I know I'm distracted now for the whip around, but my Lord.
Sesame Street night, apparently.
Sesame Street night at Citi Field. All right, let's start with the Colts at the Chiefs. It'll be a 10 in the morning game.
Oh, well, I got the
You got the article
order.
ready to go?
We're good here.
Colts and Chiefs, what do we got?
Colts and Chiefs. Colts 8-2 against the 5-5 Kansas City Chiefs. 3.5-point favorites at home are the Chiefs.
I'll take Kansas City. I think they're going to sneak their way into the playoffs. I think it starts with the win of the Colts. These are our Colts.
Stop it.
Play it.
No.
Play it.
No. Bold prediction.
Chiefs. So funny.
Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice will record at least 8 receptions.
I will buy that. They're going to need him to do that to beat the Colts. Fantasy nugget for you. Travis Kelce is trending up at the perfect time. He had a season-high 13 targets and 24.1 fantasy points last week. He has scored at least 21 points in 2 of his past 3 games. Total suggests this could be a high-scoring matchup. So start Travis Kelce. Your betting nugget, Colts are 7-3 against the spread this season. Overs are 4-1 in their past 5 games.
That's cool.
Take that for what it's worth.
Up next, the 4-6 Minnesota Vikings are in Green Bay against the 6-3-1 Green Bay Packers. Packers favored by 6.
I'll take the
this
Packers
game.
in Green Bay. JJ McCarthy has not been what I think the Vikings fans were thinking they were going to be. He was going to be, but at the same time, he did have some injury. He had missed all of year last year, had some injury issues this year. You haven't really been able to have him see the NFL in front line. So it's going to take some time with JJ McCarthy. I think the Packers get the dub. I think they covered the 6 points.
Bold prediction. The Vikings will have a minus 10% or lower pass rate over expectation,
The nerds are
according
back.
to NFL Next Gen Stats.
With McCarthy struggling, they expect Minnesota will try to take a more run-heavy approach as it attempts to upset its division rival. I'll sell it. Stat to know, according to ESPN research, the Packers' offense has an NFL best 49% third down conversion rate this season. Their offense hasn't looked very good, though.
No, it has not.
Jordan Love makes an impressive throw, and then a unimpressive throw, and then an impressive throw, and then a very impressive throw to the team not wearing the Packers colors. Sometimes Jordan Love looks colorblind.
Speaking of being colorblind, I wish I was colorblind for this game. The 2-9 New York Giants against the 6-4 Detroit Lions. Lions favored by 10 in this game.
It's Detroit and who? And the Giants.
New York Giants.
I'll take Detroit. By the way, so like a lot of these different pairings are from a lot of multiple contributing writers at ESPN.com.
Yes.
Stephen Holder's one of them. The one that gave us a breakdown of the Chiefs, Nate Taylor. Nate, why didn't you tell me that you worked for ESPN, dog? Why didn't you tell me that you worked for ESPN?
Yeah, that's a little rude.
A lot of the
you can't say no relation because it's the same first and last name. You can't say no relation.
Seth Walder makes all the bold predictions. Those who we're getting the bold predictions from, by the way.
Giants, speaking of those, Giants edge rusher Abdul Carter will have been awake long enough to have a big game that he will vault himself into second place in the Defensive Rookie of the Year odds.
No, he won't do that because the Giants are getting smoked.
Of course.
It's hard to do that when you're getting your ass kicked. Unless the Lions pull all their starters and they start teeing off on the second string for Detroit, which I don't think is going to be the case.
The 9-2 New England Patriots taking on the 3-7 Cincinnati Bengals. Pats favored by 6.5.
See, this is the contributor that I thought Nate Taylor would be his Pats.
Yeah.
Patriots at the Bengals. I got the Patriots in this game. If you had them in Survivor, if you still have them alive in Survivor, I would take them. It's a trap. Come on. That's a Patriots fan talking right there. Now, if Joe Burrow plays a little bit different, but the Bengals are awful. They're awful. I'll take the Pats at the Bengals.
The Patriots wide receiver DeMario Douglas will record at least 4 or more receptions, tying a season high.
I'll buy it. I think they have a big day. Stats to know about the Bengals. The Bengals have allowed 27-plus points in 9 consecutive games, which is tied with the 1964 Broncos and the 2020 Chargers for longest single-season streak in NFL history.
You'd love to see it.
Doesn't sound very good.
No, it does not.
On to the next one.
The 6-4 Pittsburgh Steelers are in Chicago to take on a 7-3 team known as
The Bears. The Bears.
Bears favored by 2.5 on the road.
I'm taking the Steelers.
At home, sorry. Bears.
I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I think that's this game the Steelers win. Stats to know, the Bears have the NFL best 22 takeaways and 15 interceptions this season. Chicago is a 7-1 record, outscoring its opponents by 39 points when finishing with at least 1 takeaway. Steelers hang on to the ball. Steelers win the game.
Bold prediction. The Steelers defense will force a turnover against play action.
They will force a turnover. Whether or not it's against play action will remain to be seen. That is a bold statement.
Yes,
I'm going to sell that one, Matt Walder.
The 2-8 New York Jets taking on the 5-5 Baltimore Ravens. Ravens favored by 13.5 at home against the Jetropolitans.
I think the Jetropolitans make it closer than that, but
Tyrod Taylor's starting over Justin Fields now as well. So Fields has been benched officially.
I'm still taking the Jets make it closer. The Ravens aren't going to cover, but they're going to win that game. They're going to win that game
Bold prediction
by
is
Seth Walder.
Adonai Mitchell will record 70 or more receiving yards.
Seth Walder says that Mitchell was targeted 6 times in his Jets debut, but he struggled mightily to hold on to the ball. Eventually, he's going to break out for a big game. Yeah, they'll do it in trash time when they're getting smoked.
Probably.
I will buy that.
The 7-3 Seattle Seahawks taking on the 1-9 Tennessee Titans. Titans the only non-2-win team in the league left this year. Seattle favored by 13 on the road.
Titans cover, Seahawks win. I thought last week was the week the Titans were going to get their second win. They were playing a division rival at home, backup quarterback for the Texans. They lost by 3. I don't think that's and even though the Texans beat the Bills last night at home, I don't think that makes the Titans' loss to the Texans more impressive at all. The Seahawks are better than Tennessee. They're going to win.
Titans linebacker Cedric Gray, who played 100% of the team's defensive snaps last week for the first time this season, will record at least 12 combined tackles.
Yes, and I agree with Seth Walder. He expects Seattle to get out to a big lead and then lead and then run the ball, in which Cedric Gray will make a lot of tackles. I buy that. I will buy that bold prediction.
The 6-4 Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the 3-7 Arizona Cardinals. Jacksonville favored by 3.5 in Phoenix.
We'll take the Jags. Arizona's not good, and the only way Arizona wins is if they play the Cowboys on Monday Night Football.
There you go. Jaguars defensive tackle Eric Armstead will record and sack.
Sure.
Cool.
Stat to know in that game, this is interesting from ESPN research. The Jags have 13 drops by wideouts this season, 5 more than any other team. Their 21 drops overall lead the National Football League. Catch the rock.
Yeah, it's kind of a point.
That's all a receiver gets paid to do is to catch the ball.
In a game that everybody will be tuning into,
especially Clay,
in the 1:00 block, the 2-8 Cleveland Browns taking on the 2-8 Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders favored by 4 in this game.
I'll take the Raiders.
4.
Shedeur Sanders is starting for the Browns.
Yes, he is, and he looked incredible last week.
Yeah, he took a sack in the game last week, and at one point, like somebody commented, I mean, the Shedeur lovers are just—it's crazy to me.
Did you see the way he went down on that sack?
Well, they said like the offensive line should be investigated. They intentionally had him get sacked on the protection, saying like why are they blocking this guy? Why did they go to the right when all the pressure was on the left? You know who makes those calls at the line of scrimmage? The quarterback does. So Shedeur didn't protect himself.
I'm just stupid.
Because he gave the wrong protection call, and then he got smashed. I'll take the Raiders.
Numpties.
Get your popcorn ready.
Raiders edge rusher Max Crosby will record at least 2 sacks. Speaking of picking out the coverage.
Sanders took 7. He took sacks on 7.5% of his dropbacks last year at Colorado, which ranked 105th out of 127 qualifying passers in college football. He takes a lot of sacks.
And as New York Mike points out, he then comes home to find his house got nicked of $200,000 worth of stuff.
Yeah. How about Nikki P in the chat? They never saw him play in college if they are surprised. He takes sacks.
Jeez. You're going to have another friend war on your hands as the 2-8 Philadelphia Eagles.
8-2. They're 8-2.
Yeah, there's the dyslexia. Taking on the 4-5-1 Dallas Cowboys. Eagles favored by 3.5.
Mike Crum versus Matt Perez this weekend.
Again,
I can't wait to be in that.
It didn't
group
go
text.
well last time.
No. Well, the game came down to the wire. I'm telling you right now, if the Cowboys win, I would not want to be Mike Crum. That's all I got to say. I don't think the Cowboys are going to win, though. Philly's better than the Cowboys. Cowboys are okay. They're hanging on for dear life. If they beat the Eagles at home, which these teams have split a lot, 5-5-1, they're still hanging around. I got Philadelphia in Jerry's world.
I don't know what has taken me so long to get that Philadelphia mayor doing the Eagles chant. Jalen Hurts will complete multiple 40-yard passes in a win.
I'd usually sell that, but the Cowboys' defense is awful.
Yeah.
It's so bad. This game's going to be a shootout, though, because the Cowboys' offense can move the ball. They can score a lot of points. Their defense is garbage. Cowboys are 3-1 against the spread as underdogs, by the way, this season, including covering a 7.5-point road underdog against the Eagles in week 1. I might have to change my pick. Maybe the Cowboys cover.
The 3-7 Atlanta Falcons taking on the 2-8 New Orleans Saints. Saints favored at home by 1.5.
I'll take the Falcons. New Orleans is terrible. I guess, well, you know what? No Michael Penix Jr. is out for the year. No Drake London. Darnell Mooney's got to get the ball a lot.
Yeah.
We got to run the ball. Saints parted ways another receiver after Brandon Cooks asked for his release. That means another changeup for rookie Tyler Schloh. He's coming off his first win as a starter. Without Cooks and Rashid Shaheed, who was traded to the Seahawks, Devon Vele and Mason Tipton will be next in line. Jawan Johnson and Chris Olave is probably a good start in fantasy this week. God, what a bad game. It's basically Bijan Robinson versus Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Do we have to watch this game?
No.
No, here's the problem. The NFL and their scheduling is BS. They don't put enough games in the afternoon anymore because they have to put all these stupid Thursday and double Monday night and games in Kazakhstan and all these, European countries. And so now you get the Falcons and the Saints at 125 with 2 other games. I think Atlanta wins. I think New Orleans is awful. I think Atlanta wins.
Wilbur in the chat, our buddy Wilbur. Remember, dyslexics of the world untie. Bold prediction. Saints running back Alvin Kamara will record his second straight game with 100+ combined rushing and receiving yards.
I'm going to say something you said to your dad last night. You can't get me to do something or answer a question after you drop a dad joke like that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What game are you talking about?
The same one. The same one we've been debating back and forth here.
Yes, he will. He'll have a big day.
Oh,
Alvin Kamara.
There we go. Sunday night, Buccaneers 6-4 at the Los Angeles Rams at 8-2. Said it right this time. Rams favored by 7.
I want to point out this is the second time that you said the Eagles only had 1 or 2 wins.
Me?
Yeah, you did it like 3 weeks ago. It was the Eagles again. You had them as a losing record, and at that point, they probably only had 1 loss, or 1 or 2 losses again. It was like the 2-6 Eagles.
I don't do it on purpose.
It sounds like you do.
No, I swear it's the dyslexia, and then after you point it out, I'm hyper aware of it to not do it again.
Giant bias. I agree. Go ask.
If it were giant bias, I'd been saying the 9-2 Giants. Come on now.
No, you remember. You hate watch the Yankees more than you love watch the Mets.
No.
You get more excited for Yankees games than you do Mets games. I've seen it. I've seen it.
The Met game was the Met game you saw me watch. The Met game you saw me watch was a blowout. I forget which way. The Yankee game, they were losing to the Marlins. Yes, I'm going to be more happy. I'm going to be more excited and more animated about the Yankees losing to the Marlins.
I'm just saying, I've seen it.
No, Nate. It's not Aaron Fudge. It's Arson Fudge.
Guy hates the Yankees more than he loves his Mets.
I do hate the Yankees.
All right.
Rams Bucks. Who do you got?
I got the Rams.
Stafford will throw for 350 yards.
I'll buy it.
Then finally on
Monday Night Football.
6-5 Panthers, 7-4 Niners. Niners favored by 7, even.
Niners. Easy.
McCaffrey will record 100 or more yards.
Yes. I need it for fantasy. I will buy that. We got off track a couple of times.
Kroger is going to be very, very happy that we're about to go to break right now.
Kroger?
Yeah.
Like the shopping?
Yeah.
Or do they got the next ad?
They're the first spot, yeah.
Oh, nice. We didn't even have Kroger's out here.
Oh, you do? Ralph's.
We do.
Ralph's is in the Kroger family.
Well, when we come back, we will talk about what the games you have to watch in high school football, talk some Aztec football as well, as we finish up the 1 o'clock hour, Braden Surprenant Show.
Picture it. Your holiday.
Didn't get to the midday sports stand-up today because, well, we didn't have phones for a long time. But if you can take me down sports trivia next week, there's only going to be a couple chances next week. You can take me down sports trivia. You win tickets to see. You win an opportunity to win tickets to see Sammy Hagar return to Las Vegas with his Best of All Worlds Las Vegas residency. Get ready to rock with your favorite hits from the Van Halen years, Sammy solo hits, and more. Only in Las Vegas this March 11th to the 21st and September 18th to the 26th at Dolby Live at Park MGM. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. All guests on 97 to the Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. We're going to have Drake Hills on in just a little bit to give us a preview of soccer. He's going to be on Monday to give us the preview of the playoff game for the MLS, but we're going to talk some World Cup qualifying with him to finish up our show this week. But before we do that, it's time for some high school football, Frank.
Oh, I didn't get the thing.
Ah!
Hold on. I got it. I'll get it. Relax yourself, huh?
That's like the Peter Griffin. He's holding
Yes. Yeah, no, I know. I got you.
I'm just going to keep doing it until you get the music back.
Jeez, were you?
You know what the downside of the Broncos having a bye this week?
Yeah, no.
Didn't get to hear the Broncos
No,
sounder.
we did not. And I'm not going to play it just so you can feel good about yourself for a second. Here we go.
Ha-ha! High school football semifinal week in the CIF San Diego section across every division. We've got big matchup, star power, teams fighting for a spot in championship games. Let's run through the biggest games and the names you'll be hearing under the Friday night lights. Starting Division 1, the 4 seed San Marcos Knights are traveling down to the Hive to take on the Lincoln Hornets. Knights are 7-4, Hornets are 9-2. The San Marcos Knights have 4 losses. They're all the top teams in San Diego, all by 1 score less. They lost to Mount Miguel by 1 score less. They lost to Carlsbad by 1 score. They lost to Mission Hills by one score. They lost to La Costa Canyon by 1 score. They're right there. Can they get over the hump and beat Lincoln tonight? That'll be an interesting story. Poway gave Lincoln a big run last week and a valiant effort from the Poway Titans. Heavyweight battle between 2 of the most explosive offenses in the San Diego section. San Marcos comes in after beating Point Loma last week. Point Loma was undefeated. Knights revolve around superstar running back Zamir Reese. I think he's one of the best in the county. He has 2,393 total yards and 27 touchdowns, Zamir Reese does. Quarterback Creep McKinley has thrown for 1,849 yards and 20 touchdowns. He's got 2A standout Zeke McIntyre, who has 31 catches and 69 total tackles on defense. Defensively, Jet Zaher leads the way with 129 tackles. Ethan Martinez adds 66, and Colton Walker has 62. Ty Sagasser has 7.5 sacks. As for Lincoln, they survived the 51-41 shootout with Poway last week. Quarterbacks Jordan Roa and Kenan Mana have combined for 2,059 yards and 28 touchdowns. This run game is a lethal combination for the Hornets. Rashad Robinson and Junior Curtis have 2,185 yards and 31 touchdowns between them. Through the air, Courtney Miller-Thompson has 53 receptions and 10 touchdowns. Defensively, Lincoln brings pressure and speed. Prince Tavion, who's going to Oregon, leads with 89 tackles. Cam Joy has 81. Seth Fanua has 75. And defensive back Cameron Purnell adds 73. This has a shootout written all over it. San Marcos and Lincoln. On the other side, the winner of the San Marcos-Lincoln game will be taking on the Granite Hills Eagles or the Mount Miguel Matadors. It's a rematch from earlier this year. Both teams are 8-3. Grossmont Hills League rematch with a championship berth on the line. Mount Miguel quarterback Jeremiah Loper has thrown for 2,278 yards and 25 tuds. His top target is A.J. Logan. He has 50 catches for 809 yards and 12 total touchdowns, while Brandon Arrington, the 5-star commit to Texas A&M, adds 19 grabs for 372 yards on the season. On defense, Dominic Lopez leads with 82 tackles, and Malachi Jackson adds 61. Granite Hills is coming off a 56-7 blowout win of Rancho Bernardo. Zach Benitez is elite, 3,256 passing yards and 33 touchdowns. Spreads it out around Noah Walker with 696 yards, Dan Smith, who's got 509 yards, and Tristan Diaz, who has 506 yards. Devion Williams leads the ground game with 451 yards. And on defense, Braden Wells has 76 tackles. Caden Phillips has 62. And the Eagles already have 20 sacks and 20 picks this season. Granite Hills won the first meeting 29-16. But Mount Miguel can score in bunches. We'll see what type of adjustments both teams have made since the regular season. On the Division II, the semifinals. Cinderella story, Scripps Ranch. The Scripps Ranch Falcons got the 12 seed. They're 7-5 on the year. They're taking on the undefeated Santa Fe Christian Eagles, who are 11-0. Game will be at La Jolla High School. Scripps Ranch got past El Camino last week with quarterback Parker Armstrong and running back Malachi Sales and defensive leader Jackson Roche leading the way. As for Santa Fe Christian, they remain unbeaten. The quarterback Dax Labram has thrown for 2,379 yards and 26 touchdowns. And the Eagles have 8 receivers over 100 yards. The defense has been dominant, just 120 points allowed all season. This one means a little bit more in the Scripps Ranch area. Scripps Ranch Falcons have had a couple of players who have played in the program. The Durkin brothers. Their dad is Todd Durkin. He owns the gym Fitness Quest 10. Todd Durkin has trained Drew Brees for his entire career. Drew Brees is still a member of Fitness Quest 10. Drew Brees is the offensive coordinator for Santa Fe Christian. Got the full breakdown on social media from Todd Durkin as he interviewed Drew Brees about the game. It was kind of fun to see. But a at-home matchup for the Scripps Ranch area with Drew Brees going against the Scripps Ranch Falcons. Should be a fun one at La Jolla High School tonight. San Diego Cavers at Steel Canyon. The Cougars. This will be a semifinal. The winner will take on the winner of Scripps Ranch and Santa Fe Christian in D2. San Diego riding momentum after beating an undefeated Mission Bay. Jaden Harris has thrown for 2,053 yards. Kai Cooper, the son of Stephen Cooper, has 60 catches for 860 yards, also leads the way on defense, and Jaden Johnson has run for 703 yards. Steel Canyon edged Helix last week. Gavin Kaha sits at 2,059 yards and 21 touchdowns, and Jacob Henton anchors a deep receiving core with 6 players over 125 yards. On the Division III, UC, the Centurions out of the Western League at 6-5, the 4 seed will take on Central, the 1 seed. It's a long drive for UC. Central's at 9-2 on the year. UC outlasted Madison in a rematch shootout, 48-42. Quentin DeMara leads with 2,458 yards and 18 touchdowns, while Deshaun Hill has 1,843 total yards. DJ Ferguson adds 34 catches for 653. Central Union handled Bishops behind quarterback Luis Jimenez. They outdueled Cash Herrera, who was an Indiana committee, just decommitted today, the Bishops quarterback. Luis Jimenez has 1,432 yards and 19 touchdowns for Central Union. On the other side, it's the Christian Patriots and the Army-Navy Warriors. Christian 5-7, Army-Navy's 9-1. Christian advanced with an overtime win over Ramona. Caleb Runkle had 2,657 yards and 20 touchdowns. Kai Rozier had 63 catches for 957 yards. Army-Navy beat Patrick Henry behind Judah Bogard, who has 1,767 yards and 20 touchdowns on the season. Division 4, it's Eastlake at Westview. Eastlake 6-6, Westview 7-4. Eastlake has put up 80 points in 2 playoff wins behind Tyler Balco. Westview, electric on offense. Matthew Guimon has thrown for 2,616 yards and 30 touchdowns with weapons like Kyler Brown and Josh Haney on the perimeter. Eastlake makes their second trip to the Rancho Penasquitos area in back-to-back weeks after they knocked off Mount Carmel last week. La Jolla Country Day is at Valley Center. That's a long drive for the Tories. 10-seed Tories against the 3-seed Jaguars. La Jolla Country Day's offense is rolling. Keenan Ward has 1,088 rushing yards. Jet Aston, their quarterback, has 2,130 passing yards, and Hess Hertz leads with 857 receiving yards. As two-way star, Quentin Cesare has 81 catches and 52 tackles, while Darius Nwagbo has 6 interceptions. As for Valley Center, they're healthy again. Braylon Mitchell has 2,417 yards in the air and 26 touchdowns. Jesse Morales, 1,071 receiving yards, and Josiah Ryan Tirado has 781 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns. Finally, in Division 5, it's Hoover at Canyon Hills. Hoover shocked top-seeded Sweetwater last week. Hezekiah Manuel has racked up 2,518 yards and 37 total touchdowns. Ronnie Grant and Abdullah both have 800 receiving yards. Canyon Hills counters with workhorse Mackay Fields Cook, who has run for 1,946 yards on the ground and 16 touchdowns. Josiah Singh has nearly 1,000 yards passing and two-way star. Talon Sheriff has 49 catches and 7 interceptions. Other side of the bracket, Monta Vista and Morse. The Monarchs at 6-5, going to Morse at 7-4, the 3 and the 2 seed. Monta Vista leans on Derek Taylor and Deion Hunter. Linebacker Tavarius Florence, who had last week's pick 6 to help prevail Monta Vista in the quarterfinals. Morse is led by explosive playmaker Superior Gar, who piled up 2,596 all-purpose yards. Ethan Essamilian has 1,306 passing yards and 11 touchdowns. That is a look at all the semifinal games tonight in high school football. When we come back, Drake Hills will join us to give us a soccer update in the World Cup qualifiers, and we'll finish out the show on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. This hour, 97 to the fans, brought to you by Toyota of Poway. Voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today. It's the season to save at Toyota of Poway. The Black Friday sales event is on with brand new Toyotas in stock and ready to roll. Hurry to Toyota of Poway or toyotaofpoway.com and drive home happy this holiday. Joining us now on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. What were you going to say? Were you going to say something?
So you get 2 hours of not having to worry about YouTube. You forget for 5 minutes, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
Right. All guests on 97 to the fan, join us on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with the crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. And joining us now is our usual guest on a Friday. Almost didn't have him. We didn't have the phones. But Drake Hills, contributing writer for Black Players for Change, as well as ESPN.com, joins us on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline, talk a little bit soccer. And everybody's question in the YouTube chat, Drake, what, you're not at College Game Day this weekend? What's going on?
They forgot about me. They gave me 2 games. They didn't give me 3 games worth of tickets. I don't know what was up. Now, granted, I think it's because they're probably not so sure how I'm going to be performing. I show up there the first week. We absolutely wet the bed against Indiana. I come back and we blow Minnesota out the water. So I think they don't want, it's a 50-50 shoot right now with SC coming into town. So they probably want more of a sure shot. Maybe you should take a trip up to Eugene, Braden. I mean, I think they could use some of your mojo.
You know what? I don't know, because the TCU Horned Frogs have not done very well since I graduated at games. The games that I've been to have not been very good. I've watched them win 1 game in person, I think, and when they beat Baylor at home after they fired Gary Patterson.
Some of that Coach Surprenant, that Don's.
The Dons. Hey, you know what? That's a little bit different of mojo. But if I'm not coaching, Drake, then I don't know how much of the mojo I have. They're going to have to put a headset on me and throw me in the booth. I'll just pretend to talk on it.
We'll get you some exclusive Nike gear. We're in all black this weekend. SC is going to be coming in with their red and gold. So we'll get you some all black, and we'll get you a headset, get you a nice pair of Nikes, and you'll be good to go.
That sounds good. Hopefully I see you on Tuesday night for the Dons championship game, Drake.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, well, we'll be seeing each other around. We've got, USD women's basketball. We've got USD soccer. We've got Oregon. We've got TCU. We've got San Diego FC. Like, there's a lot going on.
That's right. TCU's in town. Take on Florida and Providence, or I forget the other team, but the Rady's Children's going on this week too. Real quick, before we talk about World Cup qualifying, you got the you're going to be on the call on Sunday for USD men's soccer. They're going to take on Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon won in PKs in the NCAA tournament. What do you got for us on Sunday's game?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We didn't get a chance to see the Luka match, right? Having your starting goalkeeper for USD transferring from UCLA, we unfortunately didn't get to see that matchup. Obviously, UCLA being a storied program in the men's soccer world, the name that comes to mind is Kobe Jones, and one of the greatest American soccer players of all time. That's a great win for GCU. And that's going to be an interesting one on Sunday, 5 o'clock at USD. USD getting the 9 seed. So what that means is the top 16 seeds in the NCAA tournament they host. And this really sets up an interesting opportunity for not only USD to take care of business against GCU, but to have a rematch against Portland in the second round. And I think what's going to be key here is some of your best guys, and especially your seniors. I'm thinking Cesar Bahena being one. I think Steven Ramirez being another. These are a couple of the guys that have been scoring for USD throughout the year. They're going to need to step up and show themselves approved against a really hot and competent GCU side. And it's going to be interesting, too, because it doesn't get any more difficult. And so they're going to need that scoring form to go throughout the rest of November and into December.
We're getting into a point now where obviously the MLS is on a little bit of a pause. They're going to resume again next week. San Diego FC will play on Monday, and we're going to have you on Monday to break down the San Diego FC game in the MLS Cup playoffs. But it's World Cup qualifying time. This is like the part of the international break. What can you give us on the latest update that you've seen so far and what you've noticed about some of the World Cup qualifiers that are going on?
Yeah, it's interesting throughout the world. I'm thinking of Italy, who's like trying to find a way back into the World Cup. They have had such an incredible up and down 8 to 10 years. You go from winning Euros to missing out on Euros and World Cups. It's a polarizing and kind of jerking experience for the Azzurri. But how about Jamaica, who's going to have to win a couple of playoffs in order to get into the World Cup, which obviously should have been an easy setup for them. Jamaica with New Caledonia, and if you win that, then you play Congo, and then of course Suriname, which is a team. This is like the team that I really, really want to qualify for 2026. Suriname also playing in the CONCACAF region. They have to play against Bolivia, and the winner of that game will play against Iraq. And so I think Jamaica and Suriname are the two teams who I'm expecting to go through, unless Iraq, who is an incredibly competitive side, make a spoiler. But this is the beauty of the United States and Mexico and Canada automatically qualifying for the World Cup because it is played on their respective soils. You get these incredible stories of like Haiti qualifying for the first time for the FIFA World Cup. That is insane. Suriname, Curacao, like there's amazing stories, but also a story of redemption with Italy. So there are 4 paths. The games that I had mentioned with Suriname and Bolivia, who will be playing Iraq, as well as Jamaica and New Caledonia. The winner of that will play DR Congo. And so those 3 games will all be played, or 4 games, I should say, in Mexico, in Guadalajara, and in Monterrey. So neutral site for all of these teams, and great soccer all around.
We're talking with Drake Hills. He is a contributing writer for Black Players for Change. He does cover a lot of international soccer as well. And there's a lot of international soccer going on as we get to the next World Cup, which is going to be here in the United States and throughout North America. Let's talk about, UEFA, the European version of this. Now, they have so many countries and a lot of different groups out there. And how does the group stage work for a lot of these countries trying to qualify? Sounds like group winners qualify, and then runners up are going to play in a playoff competition. What's been the most glaring thing out of Europe that you want to talk about, aside from Italy being up and down the last 10 years?
Yeah, I would say there are a couple of teams that have had history. If we're talking about UEFA, right, just the European governing body and the UEFA Euros, some soccer fans are familiar with that. But if you're not, there's essentially a mini World Cup that takes place, pretty much 2 years after every World Cup, in which all the European nations play against each other. And I remember there was a time in which, I was leaving Oklahoma to move back to San Diego, and the Euros were on, and a team like Wales, a team like Poland. These are top teams with top talent. Turkey as well. And all of these teams that I'm mentioning are in the playoffs right now. So you have Wales going up against Bosnia and Herzegovina, and the winner of that will play that Italy versus Northern Ireland matchup in Path A. In Path B, you've got Poland, and they're going to have to beat out Albania, and then they're going to have to beat out either Ukraine or Sweden for a spot at the World Cup. Then you've got Slovakia and Kosovo. The winner of that will play against Turkey and Romania. And so those 4 teams will have to duke it out for a spot of the World Cup in Path C. And then finally in Path D, the Irish have to go up against Chechnya, and the winner of that will play against Denmark and Macedonia. So I think there are some incredible soccer. This is where I know soccer purists don't really get along with the whole playoff situation, but you and I, Braden, we both know like the power of playoffs in American sports. When you see it, especially in qualifications, whether it be in Europe and CONCACAF, which is here in North America, it's where the best of the best, like the best quality soccer, is front and center. So I'm very excited about that.
Well, Drake, we're running out of time. Thanks again for being able to join us today. We will talk to you on Monday to get a preview of the MLS Cup as we resume back with MLS Cup playoffs and San Diego FC in action on Monday. How do you think we're going to do against the Trojans this weekend? How do you think your Ducks are going to do?
Yeah, I'm thinking by a touchdown. USC has kind of had an up and down year. They had some incredible close calls, but they lost a couple of close calls. But I'm going to try my best not to keep the Indiana loss at home in mind. We've got a couple of good wins under our belt coming off the bye week, so I think we're going to win by a touchdown.
All right. The Quackers are going to win by a touchdown. Oh, did I say it out loud? My bad. Oregon.
Yeah, it's a yellow card. One more, and you're off the radio, Braden.
Yeah, there you go. There's the foul. We'll take the foul, Drake. We appreciate the time as always, man. We'll talk to you Monday.
All right. Go Ducks.
Drake Hill's joining us on the Braden Surprenant Show. We'll see if we can see him at the Don's game on Tuesday. I see, he came out to he was at the Grambling State game.
Nice.
I saw him there. His dad went to Grambling State. So they enjoyed the game at USD the other night. They put him on the, you know what they put him on? They did him dirty. They put him on the uninterested cam or the look board cam. He was just, I was like, that's a Tim Day production right there.
Oh, that's mean.
It was the look board cam or something like that. For Frank Marchese, I'm Braden Surprenant. Thanks again for all of you guys sticking it through it with us with all the technical difficulties. Hopefully with no technical difficulties. Gwen and Chris coming up next.